So we're going to take a little bit of time here and talk about finding a z-score. So if we look at what we have on here, I have to find a z-score. To find z, I take my raw score, whatever it might be, minus the mean. I've got mu written there because we're just talking about a standard population, whatever it might be, divided by sigma, or the standard deviation. Raw score minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. So for this problem, my mean is 60 and my standard deviation is 7. So I've gone through here and collected my numbers. 60 was the mean, 1 standard deviation plus 7, 2 standard deviations plus another 7, 3 standard deviations above, and then 3 below. So now if we're going to find a z-score for this, I have a raw score, x equals 50. It's shaking a little bit, isn't it? So to determine the z-score, I take raw score, 50, minus my mean, which is 60, divided by the standard deviation. So that is a negative 10 over 7. And I pull up my handy dandy calculator. Negative 10 divided by 7 is negative 1.43. I'm going to go ahead and round that. So that's my z-score. That means that I would expect 50, which is right about here, is 1.43 standard deviations from the mean. 50 is 1.43 standard deviations below the mean because it's negative. Okay, so let's look at the other side. 71, which 71, excuse me, is going to be right about here. That's my raw score. So let's find the mean. Let's find the z-score. So z equals my raw score minus the mean. So 71 minus 60 divided by 7. So that's going to be a positive 11 divided by 7. So we type in 11 divided by 7, enter. That's about 1.57 standard deviations above the mean because it's positive. It's 1.5 standard deviations above the mean. Okay, that means it's more than 1.5 standard deviations. This one's less than 1.5 standard deviations, but that's the standard deviations. I can multiply this times 1.57 times 7, tells me the exact difference between these two numbers. I can multiply negative 1.43 times the standard deviation, and it would tell me the exact distance between these two numbers. Okay, so to find a z-score, you need to know the raw score minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. Please make sure that you subtract those before you divide, since we need that difference before we divide by the standard deviation. I hope that's been a little bit clearer to you. I hope that helps a little bit.